Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Rush Racing League Division Number 1. We're going to kick off the week here at Zandvoort at the Dutch Grand Prix here for the first of 4 divisions here tonight. So we should be in for a good one. Williams have been the team to beat across the board. They have been very dominant here in the start of the season. Will their dominance continue? Will Jono continue to give everybody an absolute lesson? Or will the absolute dominance come to a quick end here in Div 1 tonight? Stick around and find out. My name is Patrick Coleman, aka Ruckus, and I'll be one of your hosts and commentators. Alongside me tonight is the one, the only, the person who I've claimed to be my Aussie counterpart, Phoenix. Phoenix, how you doing tonight, mate?
I'm doing good. I know, personally, I do like Zandvoort. It's such an interesting track, and it's going to be interesting with the battery management because you do have a few heavy braking zones, but then you've got that run basically from right where that detection zone is all the way to the first corner, which could absolutely drain that battery to no tomorrow.
This is one of the tracks where it's a bit easier on the battery, but yes, it is still very much possible to drain the battery completely out as we are just short of a full grid. And Daniel Rocks has been disconnected. Controlling, aka, okay, well, we did just lose our race host as well. We did lose XD Lamb, so we'll kind of see how everything does pan out. If the lobby does crash, we will go ahead and then we'll go ahead and just try to sort it out, as we do have a few drivers still making their way on through, as we're going to see some of the first drivers come through. And then Tung Tung's a rolling, aka Controlling, will go ahead and be the first driver to begin a flying quali lap here. And we'll see when they decide to go ahead and burn it on down. Now they're making their way through the Dutch coastline as they go ahead and just let it rip coming through. We'll see what they can go ahead and do here as they come up after Sector 1 into Sector 2 now. They will have a Cadillac that they will just go on by. At least I believe that's a Cadillac. It's difficult since we have 4 white dots, as Phoenix likes to call them. So it can be tricky to identify them unless you see them coming up. And then we're going to see controlling. He's got control of the car very nicely. He's going to make his way now into Sector 3, setting some pretty good sector times here. He's getting good on the brakes, but he's going to have to go ahead and just burn the battery. He can pretty much almost just run that battery straight out as he comes through. And then burning it through the Daytona-esque banking, making their way down into the start line, and it is a 110.447 to go to kick things off for the Haas driver.
I'm currently in the depths of trying to invite drivers back in.
Oh, good. I will continue until you have gotten everybody in. So, Symphonic is going to go to continue on. Now, Zandvoort is not going to be the most energy starved track, but you can still, if you're still too generous on the battery, then you can still very easily run out of battery. I've seen it before. I've seen people run out of battery on Monaco. So, in Monaco, you could run boost mode for like 4 laps straight and still have boost available. So, Lachlan gonna go and make his way through the Dutch coastline as well. So we do have quite a few drivers on laps here at the moment, and they are gonna go ahead and just push with every fiber of their car's being. So you do have Lachlan going ahead and continuing on in the Haas. Zombie, we're still waiting on Ryan Adair to jump back in, aka Fat Cat Batman Jr. And then we do have Sick Party, who has just joined in. Still has that funny username. Good to know. And Aiden's Ray is going to come to the line. And he will jump up into third, just behind M. John and Jono. It's a lot of blue in the top five. They're out of the everybody in the top five is some sort of blue team. You have Williams, Red Bull, the V Carbs, and Alpine.
Yeah, I mean, it's very blue, but the top is the top. If I top basically five are within 4/10 of each other, then you've got a bunch of people within a tenth of each other. It's very close, but you like to see close, close qualifying because that genuinely means better action on the racetrack.
Exactly that. Zombie is now going to be on the lap. The only drivers who have yet to set lap time are the two Ferraris, and then the Cadillac that does have a quality ban. So Zombie will go and make his way through. We'll see what he can do here as he comes to make his way through Hans Ernst, which is the name of the corner just before the hairpin. Now coming through Kumo, and then heading to Ari, and now they're making their way down into the start finish line. And that's going to be a good time. Good enough for second place for Zombie. And that was a very good run there from the Ferrari. Ferrari might be, and this is 100% intentional, they might be a bit of a dark horse here today.
I just got that because of course the horse. Well, I think it's actually correct me. It's a stallion. It's black, so it is. Yes, dark. I mean, you've got a few coming out on your outlaps. Two drivers yet to set a time. Well, both of them are on the outlaps, and both brothers. So it'll be interesting to see which one of them can qualify higher. Either Fat Cat Batman Jr., that is a mouthful and a half, or Sick Party. But with 11 minutes to go, I feel like the order will scramble up very, like, not quite rapidly, but it's going to be very different.
Yeah, some drivers definitely are leaving a little bit on the table. And it's everybody's favorite sibling rivalry coming up here as the Ferrari will be the first one. And it's going to be Ryan Adair who's going to go and make his way to these quarters next. It'll be interesting to see as he makes his way through Tarzan. He does go ahead and swing through that corner very nicely into Garlac. And we'll see if he can make it through. Here, there's the Audi right on the outside. I wonder is okay. That's the incorrect button. No, that was not his brother. I was gonna laugh if it was his brother. That was right there, right on the edge. It's his brother's team. Two brothers, two different teams. They are both part. I mean, they're both TPs. So team principals of Ferrari and Audi. We need more sibling rivalries in motorsport. Like I was really hoping for Arthur Leclerc to come into Formula One at some point, so we could have the brother versus brother battles at, in Formula One. Hopefully, we'll get that at some point still soon. But currently, right now, we do have Ryan Adair versus Sick Party, so that sibling rivalry is always going to be there. As they head to Ari now, they're going to go ahead and burn it to the ground. We'll see what the Ferrari can do. It is good enough for P2. Two Ferraris in the top three. Where can Sick Party come in? Can Sick Party respond to his brother as he makes his way through on the Audi? Now making his way through Ari himself. And here we go. It's going to be a good run here, but did he burn too much battery too early? Must have had some mistake there because he is only in P20. Just over a second off the pace of Jeremy, who has topped the session.
Yeah, I mean, but having 19 drivers within a second of each other, that is quite close. I mean, now everyone is pouring out of the pits. You've only got two drivers still left in the pits. So I think most of the drivers are going for three because, I mean, MJ just tops the timing tables. But you can invalidate through here, especially through some corners, or if you get stuck on that curb coming through the final corner, you have to basically stop the car and drive off of it, because if you try and do it while if you try and turn while you're braking, you just get sent straight into the wall. An example, it's a track where you can make mistakes, but again, can have very, very clean runs.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if that actually had the game audio fixed. Because I can do it on my end. I think OBS was just not picking it up for some reason. I'll try to sort it. I'll try to see if that did fix anything. Just let me know. Um, so if it's still no game audio, I'll try to fix it while there's a bit of downtime in quality. I think a lot of people are trying to. There's still quite a few people setting lap times, but okay, there it is. Yeah, OBS is a really fun thing. It's really fun to learn OBS, and I know it has I know it's got its issues, and you do have to tweak a lot of stuff constantly. But when you get to the nitty gritty of it, OBS is actually a really fantastic software when it wants to work. I will throw that caveat out there. It's Aiden is Raiden, getting a little bit on to the grass there. So I do want to hear everybody's thoughts as now, since that's fixed, and that was actually going to be my little side project for a bit, but since we got that fixed relatively quickly. So there's rumors that Malaysia, the Sepang International Circuit, is coming back to Formula One this year, very abruptly, but it is coming back this year, potentially. So, how do you guys feel about it? And I feel like SJ might crucify me for this later. If it does come in and they do bring it to F1 25 or F1 25 slash 26, should we throw it in on the calendar at random, or should we just impromptu throw Malaysia on the calendar? Okay, so my thoughts on it. I've only raced it in MotoGP. I've never actually raced it in anything with four wheels, so I would love to try it though. It's a fun track in MotoGP. McJeremy, go ahead and setting the fastest lap as well. It's a 109.308. So we're seeing some pretty good lap times here across the board. But Jono, championship leader, the man who has pretty much dominated this season so far, the driver who has, as the kids say, has given everybody the belt. He's only down at P5.
Yeah, but still plenty of time. But I just decided to pull up the Sepang circuit, and it's interesting. It's a very interesting track. It's got, I know a few tracks with a little bit of everything, but it does seem to, just by looking at, have a little bit of everything. And it would be interesting. I mean, just looking at it, I can tell you that battery's going to be all right. You've got plenty of heavy braking zones just by looking at the track.
He also does some pretty massive straights around Sepang, so we'll see. I mean, knowing EA, it would take them it probably wouldn't even show up in F1. Well, actually, I think it would show up in F1 25, but it would be like, they probably would just grab a model from like F1 2018 or something. I don't even know what F1 game it was in last. They'll probably just grab a model from Eon to go and just go from there, probably. Or probably just put it in F1 27 is probably the more realistic approach, but we'll see. I mean, as commentators, I mean, we can't tell the future. We try to, and usually that ends up in what is commonly known as the commentator's curse. But so I know I think I joked about this with you, Phoenix, but we practically commentators get paid
Oh.
to curse people pretty much. Like we're basically witch doctors, but in a sports casting format.
Yeah, I mean, we've got all but, well, three of them except for Zombie, who's just come out of the pits. I mean, 4 minutes to go, so we're going to have absolute everyone peel out of the pits. We'll see if Chono can put it on pole again, or if the Ferraris can get a 1-2. But I feel like with the gaps being so small between them, even I want to say half a tenth to a tenth can definitely jump you a few positions. And I know we've talked about that so often. I've lost track of when, where, and who we've done it to at this point.
Yeah, we're pretty much like we're the well, specifically the two of us. It seems it's that we are the commentator equivalent of Danhausen. It's just every time we look at a driver and we talk about them, we have to hit him with the "You are cursed," and then Ryan Adair, or sorry, and then Zombie disconnects from the session. I'm kidding. That if I spoke that distance, I would probably just shut up for the rest of quality.
You made me almost pull up my invites by saying that. Seem like someone's disconnected. Because I go instantly.
We do a little trolling here. Well, it is about to be rush hour, ladies and gentlemen. A few drivers trying to get ahead of the rush hour traffic. Webber, you can't park there, mate. That was a very interesting spot to park the McLaren. It actually jump scared me. Um,
Can't park there, sir.
yeah, just and yeah, I think that forced Zombie to kind of back out of his lap. So Lachlan is on a lap, I think. Nope, he's also opted to back out of his lap. So I think everybody is going to do that double out lap. Um, so we're just going to have to go ahead and see as the qualifying laps come around. And Phoenix, is there anybody you would like to just hop on board with?
I don't know. I swear I just saw someone disconnect. I swear. I'm just doing investigative journalism. Because I had that thing come up at the bottom, and I don't know who it was. And I've looked back in the stream and I can't find it.
Alright, we'll see here as we do have Zombie now going to go ahead and make his way through in the Ferrari. We'll see what they can do here as Zombie is going to go ahead and... Oh, did he back out again? He did back out again. So he's going to go for another build up. Let's see about M. John though. M. John is going to go ahead and make his way on through. The Red Bull on a full charge. And he's going to go ahead and just make everything as nice and tidy as possible as he cuts through the two Ferraris. I think the Ferraris might be trying to give each other a bit of a tow. And this is going to be a good run here for the Red Bull. He's going to go ahead and continue to push his way on through. And he's going to go ahead and just make his way now down into the Hans Ernst Bacht, which I think Bacht is actually Dutch for turn, because a lot of these corners have Bacht at the end of the name. So heading through Kumo and Ari now. We'll see where the Red Bull goes across the line into P2. What about Jono? We haven't really talked about this man too much tonight. And Sick Party has just been DSQ'd for being parked in a dangerous location. That was right off of Bach 10. So that is very unfortunate there.
Roden has spun it. I went on board to find Aiden to look at Sick Party, and then I just see him go sideways through a corner. Oh.
Jono now making his way through the final corner. Where's he gonna go? Where did you come from? Where did you go? Up in the P3's where you go for Jono. He will start on the second row, right behind M. John and McJammy. McJammy on provisional pole right now. The Ferraris, though, are in good stride. The prancing horses are prancing very nicely. As we're going to see Ryan Adair trying to push on through now. He's just got through Hans Ernst and now heading into Kumo, into Ari. And there is a V-car, I think, up against the wall. Got to give it your all. As Fat Cat Batman Jr., Ryan Adair, making his way through. He will remain in P5. Oh, Zombie was the one who was up high in the wall. He's going to return to the pit lane. I know he's going to continue on. 11 seconds down. So that is going to be pole position for McJammy, the first non-Williams pole of the season here in Div 1. At least as far as my memory serves me. But for once, it is not Jono on pole position. So we do have McJammy, M. John, Jono, and then we have Jades and Ryan Adair running out your top five. And then Zombie, Aiden is Raiden, Weber, Katusha, Chastan, Symphonic, Dito, Swift, Kazuto, Controlling, Zax, Kenworth, Liam, and then we have Lachlan, the big level, and then Andre, who had the quality band, and then Sick Party, who got DSQ'd for parking in a dangerous location, and he will start from the back of the grid.
Yep, because DSQ'd, even if you get DSQ'd, you get put behind the people who had quality bands. So even though it's half a row, well, he's still starting on the. Oh, look at the sky! Oh no, the sky is threatening something called rain, and we haven't seen rain here this season because EA's only just patched the hot lap issue.
Yeah, so this could be a fun one, honestly. In the chat, they're saying no rain, please, but I say yes,
Rain.
please to the rain. I mean, I'm a Florida man. Half of what we know is rain. You know, I mean, rain, humidity, alligators, big old mosquitoes, and people just doing some of the most insane things this side of the U.S. Hurricanes, like AXT was saying in the chat. Yeah, we know quite a few about hurricanes. So, I mean, we don't get hurricanes a whole lot, at least in my neck of the woods. Tampa usually eats all those. Shout out Tampa, they really save us here. But here we go. This is going to be a good race here. Phoenix, any bold predictions before we go?
I mean, turn one, I feel like it's gonna go one of two ways. It's either going to be no contact whatsoever, or someone's end plate's gonna go flying. And I'm gonna say this. I say I want it to rain, and then watch EA not give us rain. Watch it not give us rain after I've said I want rain. EA loves to do that. Go backtracking slightly. I mean, for me, it was actually raining slightly earlier in the day. Don't know if it still is because it's pitch black outside.
Yeah, it's pitch black outside for me as well, although on the completely opposite side of the time spectrum as we get ready to rock and roll and get ready to go here. As we have the 5 red lights appearing on the gantry. And it is lights out and away we go here in the Netherlands. And here we go. It's going to be a good run now. Coming in to Tarzan. A majority of the field is on the mediums. You have two outliers. You have Tung Tung Sarolin on the softs, and then you have Andre on the hards. So two different strategies there, but everybody else running that medium compound. Jono does take the lead. That didn't take too long. Jono is in the lead for the Williams. And he's going to go in and make his way down now. He goes to the curvy coastline of the Netherlands here at Zandvoort. And it's going to be McJammy now trying to go in and go for the retake. Trying to get the refrag here as they go. Few positions being traded down at the bottom. Zach's and the two Astons are scrapping it out here for P16, 17, 18. As they continue, Kenworth now holding on to 17th as they go through. And now we're going to go ahead and get ready to go. And Jana already bringing back the Williams dominance. Where there's a will, there's a way. And Jono has made his way all the way up into P1. As that is the first lap well and truly in the books. A 1:16.274 on the opening lap. As McJammy is going to try to close in. There is a moment at the back. That's going to see. Oh, that's Tung Tung Sarolin, a.k.a. Controlling, and Kenworth dropping down the field. They have both ended up in the gravel. Now they're at P21 and P22. And we're seeing a lot of stuff happen here, aren't they?
Not have a front wing. Kenworth, like, not just the game's glitching out, just doesn't have a front wing. And I think, and Controlling's missing an end plate. I said they'll get through lap 1 cleanly. I didn't say anything about lap 2. Maybe that's where I made my mistake. But I mean, they're still, except for those two at the back, they're still very much bunched together, except probably with the exception of Jono, who is already trying to run away. You've got moves being made literally everywhere, up and down the field, through corners and down straights. I mean, a lot of underfueling, but underfueling is, I mean, you can go, I think, 1.5 lap under at some tracks and still come up like half a lap or have a lap extra fuel by the end of the race, just due to how much lifting and coasting you have to do naturally.
Yeah, exactly. Lifting coast is still going to be a bit of a factor here. It's not going to be as much. I think it's one of the more um, friendly tracks about that. Monaco's another one. Singapore's another one. Hungary actually not so much. Hungary was a bit difficult. Battery side, Ryan Adair trying to prance his way past the Red Bull of M. John. So we're gonna see what he can do. He looked for a move, but decided against it. You do have Zombie being chased down by Jades, the reigning overall champions, still trying to find their footing in this season. And a little bit of nose to rear wing from Jades onto Zombie. They're gonna go ahead and push on, but Aiden is rated though. He's been very quick this season, and he is going to be currently sitting in P6, looking to make the move up into P numbers. Sorry, guys. In P. Oh no, he's actually dropped a spot somewhere. Or I think I'm just losing it. Actually, I might just be losing it.
I think he's been in P7 for a while. I mean, he's going to battle, try and, of course, make his way through the field. You want to have a good, solid start, but I mean, just looking at, you've got a few groups. They're still mainly in, I want to say, a train, but then you've got a few different subgroups. I mean, don't know, he will try and run away, but he does have a very fast Jeremy right up there, of course, with boost mode, and you've just got Ryan sticking his nose in through that corner that can't quite get the move done. Of course, sit behind MJ coming into this. I think it's classified as a chicane. I'm not entirely sure. The exit's interesting, but Ryan will have to try yet again coming around onto this lap to try and get a move done. But he's got to be patient, because patience is key. If you're impatient, you could rip off your wing, and if you have to box early or when you don't plan to, that's your race well and truly done. As Katusha manages to overtake Weber, and both of them actually slide out a little bit.
Yeah, patience is a virtue. A virtue that a lot of racing drivers. I mean, it's kind of against the racing nature to really be patient in a lot of things. You're always like, go, go, go. You don't want to wait for anything. As Ryan Adair's not going to wait anymore. He's just going to go ahead and just send it on through. That might end up as part of the overtakes of the week. We shall see. We will talk about the overtakes of the week towards the end of the broadcast for Coda. And if you guys want to see the overtakes for yourselves, go ahead and check us out on Instagram at Rush Official. And then you'll see the overtakes of the week there. You'll get to actually see the videos of them. We'll talk about who earned the overtake of the week at the end of the broadcast, but if you want to see the overtakes, check us out on Instagram. They are all there, and there are some pretty neat ones, I will say. Some pretty good overtakes from Coda last week. I think we'll see some pretty good ones here as well. As I think Fat Cat Batman Jr. might have actually just earned one there, depending on how the rest of this race goes. Swift is going to go to try to trade up. And a big bit of contact in the back.
Well, Big Levo had a sort of quite small moment, not quite a big moment. I thought he was going to his front wing was going to get ripped off. He manages to somewhat save it, but even you've got Ryan Adair now up into P2, but you've got the back absolutely scrapping it out for positions. Then you've got basically the train of everyone else except for the two which had to pit early on due to wing damage. But Ryan, who started, I want to say in P4 or 5, is now up into P3, 2 even.
Yeah, he started on in P5 as it sits. sorry, P4. He started P4. The Ferraris started pretty decently here, so Ferrari is going to be a good team for today. So they've been on a pretty good charge, and yeah, McJamie is just not quite had the race pace as he's had quali pace. So maybe just burning up a bit too much of the ERS. Maybe that could be the case. We'll see. This is a pretty ERS friendly track, but you can still run out of it pretty quickly, as you can at pretty much any circuit. On the F1 calendar, as they go to make their way coming through the dunes, as we continue to see. We'll see if M. John can go and take another position away from McJamie. We'll see. Is he going to line the move up? No, he's going to go and he's going to wait a bit for that. Because if you make a move too early, you risk losing that end plate. You losing a bit of that downforce. And oh, someone's off, and that is Zombie off. Zombie just ran a bit wide. Oh, he's gonna be struggling for some grip as Andre and Liam get past. And I was saying that Ferrari was doing good. Oh, contact between Zombie and Andre. So Zombie's had a bit of a rough time of things here. He's dropped down even further. Zombie's going to go ahead and continue trying to push. He's got to try to get past Level here, and he just sends it on the bottom lane. And he will go ahead and make the pass stick, as the big Level may try a bit for a comeback. But also, it is worth noting that Ryan Adair has now lost his wingman. So pretty much anybody that he's going to fight up at this point, he's pretty much just got to fight it himself.
Yeah, I mean, seeing nice little actions and battles. So I've got to make sure not to tear up the tyres. Because, I mean, most of the time, you do want to go for a one-stop. Because I want to say, normally it's faster. I'm not quite sure if some tracks are faster via two-stop. You've got Swift and Kaz trading positions. But trading positions, it's quite common. I mean, they're all in one nice sort of long train of cars, but I want to say a one-stop, so I'm going to get this completely wrong. But 30, maybe 12 to 14, maybe up to 16 for the mediums, which is like somewhat halfway.
Yeah, that's a good assessment. As actually Lachlan and Kazuto are going to come in. So these guys might be on a two-stop here. So they're going to go change. They're not changing for wings. They're just switching on to the hard compound. So these guys might be going medium, hard, hard. So these guys might be doing... These guys might be doing two stops, actually, because you do... Well, this one's a front wing swap as well for Sick Party. So we'll see what the Audi TP can do now that he's got a fresh nose and some fresh rubber beneath him. So he will come out pretty much right behind Tung Tung Roland as they go ahead and go on through, just ahead of Kenworth. So wonder if a lot of that had to do with because I don't think some drivers who went and didn't go for wings. I know that much. I mean, there's no way you can just have a wing stop in F1, pun entirely intended, as Fat Cat is going to go and try to reel in Jono. And yes, I called him Fat Cat. Don't know if Ryan Adair is actually fat, and to be honest, that's information I am perfectly content not knowing about. So, McJamie is going to go ahead and continue pushing here, as we are on lap 10 at 36. Wow, that doesn't feel like we're on lap 10, but hey, time flies.
Time flies when drivers are dropping down the field. Whoa, you have got Jazz 10 and Katusha in the wall. Katusha picks up the 10-second penalty for that. I can see some... it looks like Katusha has his wing still attached to his car. Jazz has just lost 2 positions. I didn't mean to. I forgot my follow-up. Oh, time flies when you're having that someone in the gravel. Okay, time flies when you're having fun. Look, no one went into the gravel, no one went into the wall, no one went into each other, and no one dropped at least 2 positions instantly.
Well, Andre
so
went to...
I finally could say it.
Well, Andre went to the gravel a few minutes earlier. That's how he got penned for ignoring the yellow.
after when I said last time I said it, no one was doing naughty shenanigans, but we're gonna have a few drivers maybe come into the pits maybe slightly earlier than they planned. But again, if they've got good tyre wear and tyre management, they can't really push too hard unless we have a like safety car or even a VSC. They're just going to have to take care of those tyres till the end of the race.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a tricky one. Um, so it's gonna be interesting tire strategy wise. But look at this. I mean, Ryan Adair is actually really caught up to the back of Jono, but McJamie right there as well in the mix in the McLaren. The Papaya car going to go to try to get some extra moves done here. As Fat Cat, Batman Jr., Ryan Adair, Osama bin Adair, as he used to be called, is trying to go to close into Jono. Are we going to see Ferrari potentially snag a win away from the Williams? It's a bit too early to call right now, especially with McJamie finding a second wind here. A second lease of life in the Papaya machine. Trying to drag race him down now. Oh, that's going to be a potential move. He was thinking about making a move around the outside. And Zandvoort is a track where you, especially in Sector 1, you really can just make moves around the outside. That's just a thing you can do. You can just use free will and just make moves on the outside. As we do continue here, Jades is going to go to try to close back in to M. John as well. So a few fights throughout the field, but this is going to be a very interesting one. Zombie's having a good recovery drive though. He's back up in the 10th after his moment earlier where he dropped down to the 20s. So he's in a pretty decent spot making his way back up to the top 10.
Yeah, I mean those Ferraris, they've been fast this year, not just in Div 1, but in real life. Maybe he's taking a note out of the Ferrari's book, but you have to be careful because if you take the wrong note out of those Ferrari's books, you'll get the wrong side of the Ferrari strategy. But he seems to be getting the, I want to say, good side of Ferrari strategy. I mean, he's still, of course, yet to pit, but those mediums look like they still have plenty of life left to give. I mean, we've got Chono has broken that 1 second barrier to McJamie, and then you've got Ryan in P3. As Liam has now caught it into the pit, so we're starting to approach the pit window. Now we'll see since they're still mostly together in packs, we'll see some shenanigans happen within the standings, but that will settle down after the medium runners go in, and then of course the hard runners will go in later.
Yeah, so John right now breaking out of that 1 second overtake boost range. So McJamie won't have overtake to try to continue to catch up to Jono. So this is really where Jono can well and truly stretch his legs here. As Dito is now up into 6. And actually Jades is at a moment. He has dipped it into the grass. He went for a bit of an early beach trip there. So he will drop a few positions. He'll drop some to Aiden, Dito, and Webber. Drop some positions there. He's now down into 8th. He's decided that that's enough of that tire. And oh, does he have a puncture? Because that front left is looking particularly bad. I wonder if he's had a puncture on that front left. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Take a quick look at the gap to leader real quick just to see where everybody is in relation to Jono. And I wonder if that was actually a puncture for Jades. I wonder if he pushed those mediums a bit too far, where we could have seen that happen. So M. John now going to go and try to reel on in Ryan Adair. Ryan Adair had a really good start to the stint, but as the tires wore on, he is not the greatest of stints. He has dropped back to actually be on a second of McJamie. So McJamie's really just decided that he was going to lock in and turn on the afterburners and try to really just reel in Jono. So yeah, it was actually a puncture, I think. for Jades. So that's really, really unfortunate there. Punctures do happen. I think the last time I got a puncture was I was doing a Canada sprint race, and I got a puncture on lap 11 out of 12, and it was heartbreaking stuff.
Oof, you've got Symphonic and Dialdi going side by side. They had a nice drag race down the line. And when you said puncture, I was thinking of when you decided to put on wets while at a dry
All
Qatar.
right,
I just saw Symphonic and
all right.
Katusha have a nice little scrap. Now Katusha and Kaz having a nice little scrap through the end of Sector 1 into the start of Sector 2.
And Run there makes his way out through. Okay, so for the context, so I can protect what little of my reputation there is left. The context behind me putting on wet tires and guitar is referred to an actual real life tire blowout I had on the I-95 highway in Florida, going 80 miles an hour, and my tire blew out. So yes, it was basically the same effect of uh, running wets, full wets at guitar. Although I will also always bring up that there was actually I'm gonna throw him under the bus for this, even if it's not truly him. And actually, first Jono and Lachlan were going wheel to wheel right as he came out of the pits. But yes, I am throwing this man under the bus. I don't even remember if it was him explicitly, but um, this man right here, or at least this team, in Div 2, 2 seasons ago, I want to say. 2 seasons ago. We were in Jeddah, 100% race, season opener. And then he put on full wets in the middle of a very dry Saudi Arabia back in season 9. I don't remember if it was exactly Ryan Adair, but Ryan Adair is the Ferrari TP, so I'm throwing him under the bus for this one.
I mean, that's peak Ferrari strategy though, pitting on wets while it's dry. I mean, it looks like in terms of this track, it's looking pretty dry. I think it's gonna stay overcast. I mean, I do see a little bit of blue sky poking through. A few more drivers into the pits. Jono, of course, still yet to pit. I mean, he did start on those hards, so we'll go certainly a few more laps before needing to pit. Of course, those pits brought some people on new tyres and old tyres having a battle. Those battles, they're always interesting to watch because you get to see like cold hard tyres versus like worn medium tyres, as Symphonic and McJamie are having a nice little battle coming into the end of the second sector.
Yeah, so Big Jammy now trying to use those brand new mediums to try to catch up on the John who's on brand new hards. So we'll see how they can go ahead and try to make things work as McJammy is trying to go ahead and continue to push here. There's gonna be a few good battles. These will be battles for position for the most part. Even though Lachlan's and Phonic, they will have to pit probably again a bit later. They did pit earlier on, but look at this. Is Ryan there going to get 2 for the price of 1? The V-Carb is going to go ahead and just run wide. That's going to give Ryan Adair a easy way through. Not so easy with Lachlan here. Lachlan's going to try to hold on. Try to hold that position. Going to hold up the Ferrari. And we'll see if the Ferrari can go ahead and just send it on through. That's the thing about Zandvoort, though. It's a pretty narrow-ish track. So there's not a whole lot of areas where you can just try to dive bomb somebody. There is if you want to take a very unnecessary risk. And there it is. You land at the move. You set it up like you're trying to set up a brand new computer. And there you go. That is going to be Ryan Adair up into P3. As McJammy is going to be still chasing down Jono. These two are pretty close now. It is fresh mediums versus fresh hards. The mediums are going to win that battle out, as we are well and truly into the second half of the race, as McJeremy does set the new fastest lap of the Grand Prix. So far, some pretty good battles happening all throughout here. John now really trying to reel in and try to get the battle done, dusted, and delivered. Aiden is raiding now, trying to make some moves as well. He's trying to go ahead and try to fight his way back through the field. And then it's pretty, oh, here we go. Dito and Kazuto side by side, wheel to wheel. And they are just doing everything that they possibly can. Hold on, they're still side by side, mind you. Kazuto will win out ahead of Dito, but Dito's got the inside. He's going to try to go for it, but then there's Aiden is raiding right back there in the mix as well. Everybody really trying to fight for it here. This is going to be a nice battle between Dito, Aiden, and Kazuto. All battling it out for a position. And with these guys battling, it might bring Weba right into the mix as well. Might be a four-way fight for P number 7. So it's going to be a good fight here as they're trying to fight it out for the position. But look at this, a change for the lead. It's going to be McJeremy ahead of Jono now. He had the fresher tires. He had the speed. He had the move. And McJeremy now back into the lead of the Dutch Grand Prix on lap 20.
I feel like this battle won't slow down. I mean, both of those drivers are, they're going to have a nice little battle all the way to the end, or one of them's just going to check out into a different postcode. It's going to be one of the two, but then you've got almost a 2-second gap back to Lamb, who is in P3 quite comfortably at the moment, of course, giving he doesn't pick up a time penalty and keeps that Ferrari with inside the white lines, out of the gravel, and I mean preferably off the grass as well. But you've got Swift and Shades trading positions, but everyone's sort of, I mean, they're sort of settled out after the pit stops, but again, there's still pockets of battles everywhere.
You look here, you look there, you look everywhere. And there's still battles happening all across the board. So it's going to be a good hard battle here between these guys. We'll see what they can do. John going to get passed up, but that's because he dived into the pit lane. So no real drama there. He does drop a bit through the field, but that's expected when the field is so tight and you go for a pit stop. So here we go. It is still going to be Kazuto trying to go ahead and close in Aiden. And we'll see if he can go ahead and manage that. McJeremy is actually starting to somewhat pull away, as the Williams now trying to get the move done on to Kazuto, and the move is done. That's a very easy move there for Dito, as he will jump up into P7. And he's already built up almost a half a second gap to the Merc behind. Weba now trying to get the moves done as well. We'll see how that one is going to go ahead and pan out. But we're going to jump a bit further down to the big level, and Kenworth going ahead and trying to fight for the positions here, as Andre is also right there in the mix as well. It's been a bit of an anomalous day for Cadillac here today. There's a few teams that would probably want to forget about this race. We're just going to ignore how big level just doesn't have a nose. So this is going to be a nice and tight battle between them. But yeah, it's been a bit of a tough day for a few different teams. I think the team that's probably so far having the strongest Saturday, I would say, is VCarb actually, because they are doing extremely well here.
Currently 5 and 6, I believe. They've just traded positions. Whether there's team orders, I mean, I'm not quite sure. I know, well, I've checked, both of them are sitting on the same VC, so you never know. There could be team orders. It could be a bit of, let's just help each other stay and defend off the train of cars coming in hot behind them. But of course, Symphonic, Dito tries to go up the inside, gets that move done. Whether he can get that move to stick, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, he's got it for now, but as I've said that, I saw about 3 people just trade positions across the field.
Yeah, drivers are really just trying to fight for whatever they can at this stage, and that's how racing is. You got to fight for every position here. As Lachlan to he fights track limits and loses that battle, getting a 3-second time penalty for his troubles. Kazuto gets a 10-second pen for speeding in the pit lane, and track limits haven't really been that much of a talking point here tonight. I think a lot of drivers have really just they've kind of figured it out at this stage. So I know, so this isn't exactly the easiest track to pick up track limit pens on. Um, as pretty much most of it, you go off track, you're in the gravel or in the sand, in the grass. I mean, esports players they don't touch grass. We know this. I mean, McJeremy, Jono, they don't touch grass. I mean, anybody from Williams, with how dominant they've been, they clearly just don't touch grass. They haven't seen the sun in who knows how long. All jokes aside, I love all the guys over at the Williams. I love the guys pretty much at every team here. So I have no favorites. I'm kidding. Yeah, I love these guys. These guys are awesome. I have nothing but respect for them, and you know, I I like to give them a little bit of crap here and there.
Speaking of that, I'm gonna. A while ago, I think I want to say a 45 something watch streak here at Rush. And I remember Sick Party specifically, because he's in this race, so this is now what I'm talking about. He says, like, go touch some grass. Because it was so long, because I was watching every stream. There is a photo of me, I'm pretty sure I've shown it to you, Patrick, of me literally touching grass.
Got
And I sent that into a server, and they were like, you touched grass? Because to them, well, 99% of the time, I'm either doing commentary or doing chess.
Yeah. I mean, I know I touch grass, which may sound shocking considering that I wake up at the righteous hours of 5 a.m. to come here to Rush to commentate. Come Rush to commentate, but I'm tis. I'm just full of puns tonight. I'm sorry, y'all. I mean, last week I got all my chaotic energy out by bringing the Yeehaw, which will return anytime we Rush does Coda. So you have been sufficiently warned. If Rush does Coda at any point, the Yeehaw is gonna come back. I know the chat said no. I say yes. I have the talking stick.
Hey, they said no to you, and then they had to turn around, and for Div 2, the intro was the exact same as Div 1's intro. And I found that funny. But McJemmy did pit. I mean, he didn't, I think, go medium, so of course he has to switch compounds. But he tries to make his way around Zombie. He doesn't quite get the move done, but that leaves Fat Cat up into P2 with almost a 3-second gap to Jono. And McJammy sticks his nose in. I mean, he's trying to get that move to stick, but he's got to make sure to leave racing room to Zombie, who's on the inside. And I think it's going to be a drag race with Zombie with, well, none of them having boost mode. But McJammy does have more battery. A little bit of wiggle there on the exit, but McJammy has that move down. And now we'll chase Swift as Ryan is into the pits. Not entirely sure why. Which means Raiden is now up into P2, and it's a Williams 1-3 at the moment.
Yeah, I think they are effectively on a two-stopper here. So I mean, with 10 laps to go, I would imagine it's probably the two-stop, probably the play and strat from the get-go. I think a two-stop was probably always going to be a bit more of a popular strat around here, maybe. Although I was honestly thinking it was going to go kind of a 50-50 split here as we continue on. If you guys are still here, thank you guys so much for continuing to tune on in. Still a good amount of racing left to go. We're just about to hit the final 10 laps of the Grand Prix. I know FP1 for Hungary is about to go on, and I'll drop every spoiler known to man. I'm kidding. I mean, it's practice, so.
Isn't it FP3?
Yeah, is that not what I said? Did I say FP1 on accident? It's FP3.
Yeah.
It's FP3
I mean,
coming up.
quali's tonight.
Yeah, quality's a bit early, or a bit later. We'll be well
I,
done by this.
yeah, I'm not gonna watch quali. I mean, I have a limit to how screwed I will screw over my sleep schedule, but again, I have to wake up early, and it's like, do I want to have the chance of my team giving me depression, or do I just want to have a good night's sleep? Mm,
Well, I mean, if you're an Aston
hard.
if you're an Aston Martin fan, you might as well just go to bed. Um, to answer the question about did
I don't.
Katusha disconnect, answer is no. I don't think he disconnected. I think he's just had a bit of a tough time. He did have a 10-second pen, so anytime he came into the pits, that was going to be hung over his head. Speaking of blue flags, Tung Tung's a rolling is going to be rolling in penalties as they go ahead and try to tumble on through as they continue to race on. And we're going to take a quick look at the stops here, then we'll look at the tires. So here's everybody who's made stops. A good mix of the 1 and 2 stop. And this is the last time I'm going to show tires because I feel like we've shown tires for like half of this race. And I don't think anybody else is going to make pit stops. So here's the tires right now. Everybody except Liam and Sarolin are going to be on the hard tire. The back two on the mediums. So that's how the tires are going to sit. And I don't expect anybody else to go ahead and change tires. I think everybody should be. Well, actually, we might see the top 4 make another stop, and maybe Zombie might make another stop. So a few more drivers might stop. Toast is in the pit, so that's one at least. That's one more confirmed stop. So there we go. We'll see. I feel like that might be one of the last stops here because Aiden's Rage is gonna try to hold on for P2. We'll see if Dino can make it a Williams 1-2 and increase the Williams dominance here. As Dino is going to go ahead and try to make the move. He's on 2-lap older tires though. So out of the top 3, he is on the oldest set of tires. So, but they're all on the hard. So 1 lap isn't going to mean a whole lot at this stage. But actually, we're right at the point where that 1 lap is going to start making the difference. And Liam is out. He is retired in the pit lane. So Liam has called it a night here. And then that is going to be that. So Aiden's Raiden does have Dino right behind that he will have to contend with. So yeah, Williams and Rush, like 2023 Red Bull, yeah, that checks out. I mean, this is how Williams. I mean, based on the evidence of what James Val said, um, this is how Williams was expected to be moving in 2026. Unfortunately, that's not been the start that they would have wanted for that. As Aiden Raiden is now right up on to Jono. So, I mean, hey, we could have a 3-way fight for the win. Although I think if Dino does go ahead and get ahead, um, so if Dino does get ahead of Aiden, I think he's gonna really just try to back up the pack, I would say, and not even try to challenge his teammate. Oh, actually, hang on.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so that checks out. Jono has wing damage.
now could be. Will we see with 6-ish laps to go? Will we see a new race winner? Because Aiden's rating is catching him as well as Dito. I mean, will we have either a different winner or B, a different constructor? Well, on the top, will it be Dito? Because if Jono does fall off, will we see either Aiden making it for the first non-V-Carb, non-Williams even podium, P1, or will we see Dito making it still a Williams P1, but a different Williams P1?
Well, you might want to put McLaren into the mix. Jono's a bit of a lockup. Jeremy's up in the third, but he's got that missing end plate, so that's going to really hurt him around here at Zandvoort. So Aiden's rated. I mean, honestly, I think if Jono holds on to the win, then, I mean, that's GOAT status right there. But I think he's going to be in a bit of trouble. He already moves defensively. You do have Aiden is rated right there as well. You do have Big Jammy also thinking about the move. Around the outside goes Aiden. And a bit of contact. Jono has a bit of a snap. And he is wheel to wheel now. He is fighting tooth and nail. Aiden is rated in the lead of the Dutch Grand Prix. But he goes wide. Jono tries to go. Jono gets through. What a maneuver. Minus the end plate. But Big Jammy's going to be right back there in the mix. And here we go, coming through the dunes now. And around the outside goes Big Jammy. The inside line doesn't even exist at this point. If you're going around the outside, you got the moves. And Jono, with the end play damage, loses 2 positions in one go. He loses 1 to his teammate and then 1 to Aiden. So the Jono fall off has started to happen here. I mean, missing that end plate. I mean, that's, yeah, I agree. That's 100% overtake of the week for certain. I mean, what a maneuver there from McJammy. I mean, I'd say that's overtake of the season so far from the Papaya driver. And it's now going to be a fight. McLaren struggled so much in the overalls last season. This season, it has been a bit of a rebuild, and that rebuild has come to fruition. As now Webber is now going to go wheel to wheel with Jono. So now these guys are fighting it out. Webber now trying to get one on to Jono. Jono's going to fight now. It's going to be damage limitation for the current championship leader. Wheel to wheel through the dunes, through the hills, through every bump and valley. It is going to be a battle here at Zandvoort. And whew, I need a lap to catch my breath.
They're not going to slow down. You've got Hayden threatening for the first, so there is a chance. Well, I mean, Webber's got a lot to do to catch up to Dito, but with the top 3 battling as much as they have been, I mean, he's got 4 laps. I mean, it's a long shot, but we could see no Williams on the podium full stop. That would be rare, but currently, it's the closest Willie. You've got Dito in 3, but then you've got McJammy and Aiden is Raiden. So it could be very truthfully not a Williams podium. I mean, that would be very interesting. I mean, they're having a nice little scrap. Aiden closes that gap, so does Dito, but no moves made. They ran out of space. But I mean, looking elsewhere for a moment, you've got Jono just struggling to keep his pace, missing that front right end plate. He's all the way down from P1 into P6 now. So that's hurting him quite a lot. He held on very well, but Dito closes the back as Raiden goes for a move onto McJammy through that corner, does not quite get it done, tucks right back inside, but then has Dito looking to make a move. Doesn't make a move on the inside though. Aiden's rating does go slightly wide, maybe for a switchback. I mean, his front wing tyres are in line with McJammy's back tyres as they come through the chicane. They all keep it clean and tight. I mean, I'm not quite sure when someone's going to make a move with the top 3. I mean, I'm trying to look elsewhere, but the top 3 are giving us such good action.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's such a tight fight up here at the front, and regardless if it's any of these 3, it's going to be a brand new winner this season. There's a yellow flag for Tung Tung still rolling. He has had a moment through the gravel. Jumping back up to the front, though. It is still a 3-way fight in the battle here. It is McJammy, it is Aiden, it is Dito. They are all going to go ahead and fight with every fiber of their being. As Fat Cat gets a move done on the Weber, so Ryan Adair is going to be up in the 4th now as he continues to fight. Jades and Katusha scrapping out of the back. Aiden's Raiden is close, though, but Dito is going to be even closer at this stage. They're all bunched up nose to tail, coming through like a conga line. And I am just going to refund that request because we're going to head on to the penultimate lap. And this battle is too tight to really look elsewhere. So Phoenix, as they're about to go through Kumo and Ari, I'm passing this one on to you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance Fat Cat, oh, that's easier. Fat Cat is closing the gap to Dito. I mean, 2 laps to go. I mean, Dito looked for a move on Aiden's rating, didn't tuck behind. Someone's had a moment. One of the white dots has had a moment further back. I mean, McJermy's almost a second out in front Aiden's rating. And Aiden and Raiden, to keep P2, has to defend against Dito. And that, all the battling, has brought Lamb back into it. So Lamb is now battling for his chance on the podium. This battle's only going to get spiced in. If they're not careful, Webber will come back. So you could have the top 5, I mean, very closely together. I mean, 1.5 seconds. So I think McJamie, as long as he can keep his wheels within the white lines, keep his battery management good, not get any damage or have a moment, as we've had multiple positions being traded towards the back end of the field. But Dito seemingly keeping the same gap, but seemingly can't get a move done on Aiden's rating. But apart from trying to battle Aiden, Lamb is right up there. They're all about the same distance apart, those 3. So it's going to be a very interesting final lap as they round that little embankment.
It is the final lap here of the Dutch Grand Prix, and it has had everything you would have wanted to have here. We have had lots of good battling, good hard racing. We love to see it. And it's going to be a battle for the remaining podium spots here. Jono is once again just dropped down the order. That missing end plate has just done irreparable damage to his race here. This was a race that he was set to comfortably win. He was going to get the quad feed. He was going to get 4 in a row. But look at this. Look at this battle right here between them. And it's going to go, it almost looked like it's about to go 3 wide. And Fat Guy gets pushed off the track. That might be an incident report waiting to happen. But Dito is going to continue on. He wants to try to get ahead of Aiden is ready. He wants to try to maximize the points for Williams, especially after Jono's wing damage has kind of cost him a lot of it. But we were saying that the Williams domination might come to an end. The Williams have topped every single race here in Div 1. This time, the top of the scoreboard is going to be Painted Papaya. McJamie wins the Dutch Grand Prix. Aiden's ready to come across the line in P2. Dito rounds out the podium in P3. Ryan Adair having a good run to get back into 4th. Webber getting P5. So 2 McLarens in the top 5. Zombie will finish P6. A good recovery drive for the Ferrari. M. John in P7. Lachlan P8. Jono P9 after the wing damage that he just really couldn't fight back from. Symphonic will take P10. And that is going to be the end of our Grand Prix here. As the AMR 26B is going to go ahead and roll around with Kenworth. Still missing that front nose. That will come across the line now. But what a race it was. And McJamie will take P1 as Katusha bends it coming through Ari.
Ooh, that is unfortunate, but that curb, I mean, if you get stuck on there, if you try and get off, there's a 99% chance you're going to get thrown into wall, and that's either bye-bye wing or bye-bye tire.
As the podium celebration does go live, it's been a fantastic Grand Prix here in the Netherlands, a track that never disappoints here. And it's a beautiful, beautiful circuit. I love coming here. It's a fun track. It's fun to drive, fun to cover. And overall, it is an absolute gem of a circuit that will be sorely missed next year. And they're going to go ahead and continue to go ahead and enjoy the celebrations. And then we're going to go through our superlatives here. It is going to be fastest lap does go to Sick Party. Lachlan getting driver of the day and the most overtakes, with Swift becoming the cleanest driver. So here is going to be your finishing results here. It is going to be McJamie ahead of Anus Raiden, ahead of Dito, Fat Cat, Webber, Ryan Adair, Webber, Zombie, then M. John, Lachlan, Jono, who did have that very unfortunate wing damage, and then Symphonic, Swift, Zax, Jades, Kazuto, Toast, Kenworth, Andre, Sick Party, Katusha, the Big Levo, Tung Tung Roland, aka Control It, and then Liam Durenberg was our only official DNF of the session. So that's going to go ahead and wrap things up here on the racing front. But now we go ahead and move on to the interviews. So, Phoenix, I mean, what a race we've just witnessed here at Zandvoort, especially right there at the end.
Yeah, those last laps when they started, and I'm like, wait a minute, we have a possibility for a not Williams podium. And it's like, is it Aiden? But then you had that McLaren come into the battle. I mean, you almost had a Ferrari P3 until that moment where I think he just got stuck on the curb, which is unfortunate. They battled until the final few corners. I mean, it's always nice to see close battling, close results, but it also sometimes means you've got your commentators on your toes going, they are incredibly close, but at least this time they did not bin it into one another.
Yeah, it was a really good race. I mean, we had pretty much everything. A new winner for the first time here in Div One. I mean, it's a driver who's no stranger to winning. He won the championship here in Div 1 last season. So, I mean, I don't think he is really any stranger to this podium box. As we have two out of our three. We're going to wait and see if we can get the third one. And yeah, we got all three.
Ooh.
So, we're going to go
No,
from. Hmm?
no, we don't have P2. We've got Drive of the Day P1 and P3.
Okay, so we are still missing Aiden. So we are still missing
He'll
one,
come.
but we're gonna go ahead and get started here. We'll start with driver of the day because we did accidentally miss that one last week. So Lachlan, a very good race for me here indeed. You made up a bunch of positions, and honestly, you had a pretty solid race here.
Mhm. Sure did. Driving. I was just driving. I don't even know what was happening.
Yeah, it was a it was
People
a
kept crashing. People kept spinning. Weird tire strategies. I at no point did I know what tire strategy people were on. I was just driving as fast as I could to make up that horrible qualifying.
yeah. I mean, hey, sometimes just avoiding incidents. I mean, hey, sometimes that's just your best way to make your way up through the field. Just keep your nose clean, stay out of trouble, and you get positions off of it. So next week we are going to be going back to some of the crazier times here this season. We did have business as usual this week, but next week we'd head over to Imola, which is another 100% Grand Prix. So, how do you feel about heading to the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix next week?
It's a personal favorite for me at least, so that's good. Maybe I won't qualify 19th, so that might help the race out a little bit, considering passing isn't really the easiest around Imola. So I mean, got to do a lot of practice, but we'll see how qualifying goes, and then from there, just drive fast.
Pretty sound strategy. Can't nothing wrong with that. Well, I'm gonna pass you on to Phoenix, but once again, congratulations on driver of the day.
Cheers.
Well, I've got no further questions, but congratulations on Driver of the Day today here at Zandvoort.
Thanks.
All right, now we're gonna go ahead and move on to P2, and we're used to seeing Williams on a
P3?
P3.
P3?
It's 6 a.m. Give me a mulligan. I've been up since 5.
No.
Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and jump on board to P3 with Dito. And Dito, I mean, tough one for your teammate, but still a podium for Williams. How do you feel?
Yeah, hey guys. Yeah, I'm pretty surprised to be honest. I've really bottled quality, so had my work cut out for me starting at the back there. And yeah, just sort of chipped off one by one some guys, and then obviously with the tyre wear, just sort of managed my tyres as best I could, and came in clutch in the end. pretty hectic at the end there. Some interesting stuff, but yeah, got it in the end. Not I was very surprised to get a podium, second podium. So yeah, stoked, man.
Yeah, in the chat, they were actually saying that Williams in Div 1, particularly this season, is like 2023 Red Bull. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty good, man. Obviously, Jono really unlucky tonight, but he's got a really solid lead at the moment. So yeah, it won't hurt him too much. Still points at the end of the day. He had red wing damage there, so yeah, it was unlucky for him. He would have probably ran away with that. But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know what's going on at the moment. We're really killing it. Really just trying to help Jono out as best I can, and I was not expecting to be P2 in the championship at this point, man. That's for sure, especially just being Div 1. But yeah, man, I'm really happy. I was getting a bit hectic at the end there. I thought Lamb was going to get me, especially with Meowsy and all that. You know, trying to get Weber back in to the race, but yeah, just went our way, and yeah, happy days. We'll move on. This was probably one of my. I was not confident at all about this track, man. I really wasn't looking forward to it, but happy days.
You feeling confident about Imola next week? It's back to 100% Grand Prix, so it's another endurance round we got coming up.
Yeah, actually, finally a track that I like. I do like Imola. It's going to be interesting to tire wear. I haven't done much on this game at that track, so we're looking forward to that to see how it goes. But I just need to stop getting home from work, you know, half an hour before the race, and see if I can get some proper practice in, see how we go.
All right, well, congratulations on the podium, and I'll pass you over to Phoenix if they have any other questions or comments.
Cheers, mate.
I do not, but congratulations on P3 this evening.
Thank you. Shout out to the rest of the podium. Well done. And yeah, unlucky Jono, of course. And shout out Chaos for engineering.
All right, now we're actually moving on to P2 this time. A driver who was, at one point, knocking on the door of the race win. Aiden is Raiden. Now, Aiden, you've had some really good form here this season so far. How would you rate your race here tonight?
Very lucky, I'd say. After putting two words, it seemed everyone ahead of me had some sort of crazy issue. The Alpine that was ahead of me at the start of the race just teleported back like 5 seconds for some reason. Obviously Jono has damage. Meowsy, not really sure what happened to him. Jono also got damage. Lamb went to a two-stop but couldn't get back to us. And then, who else was there? Bandito was behind me. I think I had slightly better tires, but you know, overtaking's pretty hard here. But yeah, wasn't really expecting a podium. My qualifying was pretty awful. Hit a brick wall in qualifying, couldn't get past a 10.8 or 10.7. Then yeah, I was just in a bit of an overcut, trying to get better tires, and yeah, everything just came to me somehow.
Yeah, I mean, like we were telling Lachlan, or sometimes, you know, just staying out of trouble and being in the right place at the right time really helps you out in a race. So it is going to be Imola next week, 100%er. How do you feel heading to Emilia Romagna next week?
Hopefully it rains. I think we had a race. I'd raced another league and it was very. I think I'd raced another league and it was very wet and it was pretty fun for a wet race. So yeah, I hope it rains. Surprisingly, it's good racing there. But yeah, I don't know. It's just track limits a bit easier now because I think track limits are broken with these cars in Imola for some reason. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, so it will be interesting. So we'll just kind of have to see how it goes. Well, congratulations on the P2, and I'll pass you over to Phoenix if they have any other questions or comments.
I do not, but congratulations on P2 this evening.
Thank you.
All right, and now, last but most certainly not least, we do have the race winner of Meowsy, reigning Div 1 champion, and Meowsy. I mean, you had a very, very good drive there to fight back to the front and catch up, and you had a really good pole lap as well. So, I'd say for you this was a pretty successful weekend here at Zandvoort.
I don't know. I guess so. My pole lap was kind of botched. I lost a temp in the carousel, so that didn't help out my cause at all, but still enough for pole, I guess, so that's something. I felt like I had really good pace. I was just talking to John just then. He said when he boxed, he was on 70-ish%, and at that point, I wasn't even on 60%, so, um, yeah, I had really good pace. I was able to keep my tires in good shape. I thought I had a really good chance of going for the win and beating Jono, considering that those factors. And then I accidentally had medium selected again, so I was basically doing a two-stopper, but on a one-stop pace. So that really didn't help my cause at all. I had to push like hell to try and create a big enough gap so that when I did box, I could have a good chance of probably doing good damage limitation, maybe getting P3 at best. So yeah, when I did box onto the hards again, felt like pace was good. I was able to catch up to Weber, Aiden, and then Dido as well. And I couldn't tell where Jono was on the map because there was a V carb um, in front of Jono, I believe. So it looks like that was him. I'm like, oh, he's miles away. He's like a good 13 seconds. There's no chance I'm gonna get P1. And then as I'm catching up to Aiden and Dido, I see a Williams, and I'm like, how is he there? He should be like 20 seconds clear by now. So yeah, I think Jono really had that wrapped up. It was just a shame to have him lose that. He would have easily won it if it wasn't for that. Although I was a bit unsure as to why he didn't box, considering how close I was, or how quickly I was catching up to him. He probably would have been able to salvage a P5 otherwise, but yeah, from that point on I had probably 10 lap pressure tires, and I was trying my best to help Weber out by bunching the pack up once again. But when I saw that um, no, not zombie. I forgot. Sorry, one of the Ferraris, but a catch back
Ryan.
up. And I knew he was. Yeah, yeah. And when I saw him catch up, I knew he would be a threat if I wasn't careful. So I decided to give him my all and see what I could do from there. But yeah, quite lucky, uh, but also unfortunate at the same time. So yeah, I feel like um, I probably would have been P2 otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, once again, I mean that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. It's just how racing is. Just takes one small moment to really flip the whole complexion of a race up on its head. So next week, Imola, 100%er. How do you feel?
Oh, 100%. Yikes.
We have
Okay.
a lot of those this
Well,
season.
oh, that's fun. I'm unsure if I'll be there for that. Probably not, considering I have my exam block the following week, and I don't think doing an enduro at Imola would help that. So, um, yeah. If I were to race that, be a bit painful. Um, enduros for some are interesting, others less. For me at least, it would be quite just like saving tires for like 60 laps and then hope there's no safety car in the final 3 laps to decide everything. So yeah, it could be interesting, especially if something happens towards the front. But yeah,
All right. Well, congratulations on the race win. And I'll pass it over to Phoenix if they have any other questions or comments.
I do not, but congratulations on P1 today, even though it may have been slightly unexpected, but good job nonetheless.
thanks.
All right, everybody, that's going to go ahead and wrap things up here at Rush Racing League. We're going to go ahead and just run through the overtakes of the week from last week. Once again, if you guys want to see the overtakes for yourself, go ahead and check us out on Instagram at Rush Official. So, overtakes of the week for we're going to go ahead and just run through these real quick. Katusha lap 1 on, Division 1 for lap 28. And then it is going to be Connor. So back-to-back Audis for Div 1 and Div 2. This one was on lap 7. Filthy getting a filthy overtake on lap 3 for Div 3. And then Kungbus getting the Div 4 overtake of the week on lap 16. So that's going to go to wrap things up here, everybody. Phoenix, any final thoughts before we let you go?
I mean, the race overall, I mean, we had action-packed. We had an action-packed quali, an action-packed race, and those last 5 or 6 laps were absolutely insane, but in a good way.
Exactly that. So I can't wait to see what the rest of the divisions do, and can't wait to see how next week at Imola goes. Massive shoutouts, as always, to Sim Racing Center, SimLab, and Pagnan Advanced Simulation. And of course, my personal favorite, shout out to the Twitch chat. You guys have been awesome as always. And thank you guys so much for tuning on in. On behalf of Phoenix, my name has been Patrick Coleman, aka Rekus, and we have been your hosts and commentators for tonight's action. Tune in next week when we head to Imola, and tune in for the rest of this week where we still have more Zandvoort action ready to go. Stay hydrated, and we'll see you next time. Good night.